Hello everyone, welcome to the video. My name is Owen Fox and today I want to talk about hate, emotional suppression, repression, and just overall talking about expressing yourself, stuff that you hate or dislike in life, stuff that like pisses you off, fucks you up, fucks up your life, and basically having your boundaries abused and boundaries bashed. Basically, in my life, it's taken me a long time to learn this exactly. What I see is so many empaths or highly sensitive people, or just people who are kind, nice, sweet, caring, loving, even sometimes religious, or on the spiritual path. What they do is they get walked over and trampled on by other people, like people, especially narcissists. Often empaths and sweet, lovely people get trapped by narcissists. Narcissists are completely self-absorbed people. They only think about themselves and their own feelings. They never actually, they don't have much capacity or ability to think about somebody else, like what they're going through, what they want, what they like, what hurts them, their fears, worries, or hurts or pains that another person is going through. It could be in a relationship, it could be a workmate, it could be an ex-partner who just can't let go of their own self-obsession basically, and they don't care or think about you. They don't have that ability. So I made some posts on Facebook lately about like hate, and it seems like people just do not get this a lot. Some people do and a lot of people don't. So for example, we live in a goody two-shoes society of emotional suppression and repression. We hide, we put up masks, we pretend, we smile and say, yes, people's pleaser. But really, what do you feel like deep down? Deep down, we could fucking hate something, we could hate somebody, we could hate someone's behaviour. And everyone, I just want to draw a distinction between hating somebody. I don't hate anybody, I love everybody. There's a difference between unconditional love and a conditional relationship. You do not have an unconditional relationship. You have unconditional love for everyone, yes. If you had an unconditional relationship, that means you just get it with anybody in a relationship. It could be a serious hardcore drug addict. It could be an emotionally violent or physically violent or abusive person. It could be someone who doesn't like you or treat you with any respect. So if you're going to be confused or think that unconditional love and unconditional relationship are the same thing, they're not. That means that having a unconditional relationship, where often is the case, people do not actually feed you with nourishing love. That is the highest source of self-abandonment and self-neglect and self-hurt. If you're going to stick up with abusive behaviour, criticisms, emotional neglect, emotional abandonment, rejection, coldness, someone who's emotionally simply unavailable, even if they're not actually being like hardcore or directly abusive, you are abandoning yourself, my sweet child, my sweet beautiful brother and sister of this earth, my sweet soul brother and sister. I have done this in the past, and I only ever did it with a woman who I got into a relationship with, and I had issues from my childhood that were unresolved that kept me putting up with shit that I do not anymore. But I put up with so much shit. I should have fucking left a long time ago, but I wasn't able. I didn't have my clear understanding and awareness on this topic. I did not have my clarity. So, 1 second. So this is my lovely purple sarong. So, yeah, I've learned the difference between unconditional love, which is for everybody. It's a feeling, it's an emotion, it's an openness of your heart. It's your heart is working properly. And then there's a relationship. You don't want an unconditional relationship. You want a very, very, very conditional relationship. That means there's conditions, there's agreements, and it's good to know what those agreements and qualities that you want in a relationship. and the agreements you both work on and agree together. So, I'll get into that in another video. But in this video, I also want to talk about learning how to talk about like what you hate and dislike. Because like I was saying in the other part of the video, in this society, we live in a goody two-shoes society of people's pleasing generally, and we shun what we call negative emotion, which isn't negative. It isn't negative at all. It's just like an emotion. So we suppress and repress stuff like sexuality, nudity, and emotions, especially. So we think we're supposed to be like always happy and smiley and friendly, but we shouldn't. If someone is treating you like shit or abusing you or walking over you or disrespecting you, you're supposed to have a strong sense of, this is not right. I'm not going to put up with this shit. And like, fuck that behavior. You don't have to say fuck that person, but you can say fuck that behavior. There's a difference between hating a behavior and hating a person. Like I said earlier, like I don't hate anybody, but I do hate and very much so dislike behaviors of people. So you want to know this very clearly, and you want to have a sense of self-worth and self-value and dignity and self-respect. So what I learned this year the most is to have dignity, self-love, self-respect, self-value and self-worth. And when you have this, and then you know exactly what you can put up with and what's allowed in your life and what's not allowed. So, for example, if someone on Facebook is not in my life these days, I only accept equal love exchange, and I'm a very kind, like loving, caring, generous person, and I've been cultivating qualities for 10 years now. So I'm likely to give you a lot more love, generally speaking, and time, energy, money, promotion, support. And it's only now my best friends who give this abundantly back to me. Like, I've got quite a lot of very, very, very brilliant, conscious people in my life. Like, amazing quality, empowered, beautiful, heart-centered friends who are very, just so beautiful, you know? Top quality, like really high vibration. So I know now what's not that, and I don't accept what's not that. So if I let's say I used to share and support and promote other people's work, like people who are working as a holistic healer like myself. And if they wouldn't sometimes, some of them wouldn't, let's say, share or support or promote me. So I quit that. But now I have like zero tolerance. If someone doesn't give me the same back, basically speaking, a very beautiful feeling, happy exchange of friendship or collaboration, then I'm just like, whatever, like, fuck it, you know? I'm not going to waste my time. I'm done with bullshit. I'm done with time wasters. I'm done with my own time wasting. At the end of the day, it's not about people doing stuff to me. It's about me allowing it in my life. It all comes down to me. It's my job, it's my work, it's my responsibility, and it's my accountability to take responsibility and accountability for what I've chosen in my life. The decisions that I've made that got me into what I got into in the past. No one did it to me. I'm not the victim of anybody. I chose everything. So I now know to make really excellent decisions for my future. I've stopped time wasting with people who don't deserve my time, love, energy, support or promotion. Because so many people have bloody bought presents for, thinking about making them a card for their birthday, bought them the materials, offered them, told them about, like, have presents. I've given them stuff in the past. They hardly give even thanks. Like, that's not acceptable for me. Like, I've way better self-worth than that, self-value. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to redirect my energy onto the people who love and appreciate and cherish me and share back with me joyfully. And then we have like an amazing relationship together. It's like extremely effervescent and bubbly, and it's gorgeous. It's like the spice of life. It's very, very, very happy. So in this video, I know I'm talking about a lot of this stuff what some people might think is negative, but it's not negative at all. Like, truly, I live my life in this space of like happiness with like amazing relationships. This video is focusing a little bit more, allowing yourself to talk about what you hate or don't like. You don't have to like, you don't dwell or live there or talk about it all day. Just to clarify, you just mention it a few times. You mention it for half an hour, 20 minutes. It could be, you have to process stuff. You have to integrate. You have to allow yourself all of your emotions. And don't say, you don't have to like hate people, you just hate or dislike a behaviour. You recognise the opposite behaviour, what you love, and you choose that in your life, in your decision making. And that's how you have a prosperous, thriving, healthy, happy life. With amazing collaborations and work with people, which I do, you know, collaborating and I work with people. As a holistic healer, you know, mind, body, spirit, emotion. And then you look after everything in your life, like health, relationships, work, family, community and global helping as well. So I was going to say I love the word hate. I love the word sex. I love the word fuck. Like, cursing is another thing we suppress and repress. Like, there's all these judgments as if you're being a bad or wrong person if you do any of these things. It's just ridiculous, everyone. I'm not going to bullshit you. You have to just be clear and honest and see the truth of the situation. There's nothing wrong with talking about what you hate or dislike, as long as you don't live there and you feel like terrible from thinking about it, like you're the biggest victim in the world. You have to establish clear boundaries for yourself. And that's what I've done this year. And I feel the best I've ever felt in my life, easily, by a long shot. I now can trust myself. Before I did not trust myself, I was just unaware and unconscious of certain patterns coming from a wounded past. Okay, so there's a big difference. Some people do not trust others because they do not trust themselves. They do not trust themselves to make a clear decision, to protect themselves as healthy. I never distrusted myself, but I was just acting out of a pattern from a wounded child, from my childhood, first 18 years of my life. This year, 2017, has been a tremendously powerful, transformative, healing, challenging, hurtful at times, emotional, and growth and learning filled year. It's huge. It's been massive. I'm changed. I'm a different person now. So, this is grape juice with some spirulina and some herbs. I now feel 100% confident. I can trust myself to make these decisions that are for my good. Amazing boundaries. Massive, empowering decision making. I know I will make, I am making, and I can make. So, except for my relationships with a woman, I always had boundaries for the last 10 years. I'd never waste my time with bullshit, basically speaking. But it's because of this wound that I finally cleared up this year with a thankfulness to my soul family helping me, and the soul family triggering this healing through acting not good at all, basically. Acting like terrible behaviour. But it's beautiful, and I love the soul person, the soul contract. But I don't particularly like the person's behaviour in the slightest bit. But that's okay. That's the way life works, everybody. It's like, that's what happens with soul contracts and soul family. So everyone's your friend, soul family-wise. So we just play different roles on Earth. Have love for everybody, including the people who triggered me and helped me to heal. So, helped me to heal by triggering me in a hurtful and painful, shocking situation, and then the soul family helped me to heal through love and support and nurture. I have a fantastic inner peace now. I generally have. It was even better. It's way better. I've gone through a tough patch, and I've never had such close, incredible friends. Unbelievable. Very mature, conscious spirits here on Earth. Just beautiful people. I can't say anything bad. I'm extremely happy with myself at where I am at the moment. I'm very happy with where I am in life. I'm utterly blessed. I don't know anyone else with so many friends who are as high quality as me, to be honest. Obviously they're out there, but I just don't know them personally. So I'm extremely blessed. I don't obviously investigate everyone's friends too, so I'm not trying to say I'm special or better than anyone. I'm just saying I'm kick-ass, quality, conscious, loving, heart-centered, kind, generous, reciprocating friends who are high quality. So everyone, I want to talk about you now. What you need to do, if you want, I invite you, you're welcome. What you can do is take responsibility, get clear, express your emotions, stop putting up a front, just stop taking any more bullshit. Accept what you want, make friends and connect and collaborate and exchange numbers with people who you love and resonate with. Focus on self-healing. Get some consultations or healing from me or some other people who are holistic healers. If you want to move forward in your life, there's no other way than getting personal healings or consultations with people like me, or like me, you know, or me, myself. Looking at YouTube videos is good, very good, especially if they help. Yeah, but it's always good to see a healer of some kind, or at least a consultation, whatever. So that's my intention for this video. I just want you to be helped in life, to feel better emotionally. Get out of shit relationships that are going nowhere, and stop living in hope and start living in reality. So stop hoping or pretending things are different than they really are, or someone's different than they really are. That's a joke, everyone. Stop doing that bullshit to yourself and start getting grounded in the reality of the situation. If people aren't showing clear signs of transformation and hard, committed work with you and the relationship they're in with you, well, even if it's a friendship or a romantic relationship, just say no. Get out of their life. Stop wasting your time with people who are just like not serving your highest good. Like, stop choosing shit stuff for yourself in life. You know, that's all I just want to say. It's pretty simple. A lot of people who aren't spiritual are very good at some of this sort of stuff. They're good at business sometimes. They're grounded in reality. Like, some people who know nothing about spirituality, they can see a red flag. A lot of these spiritual people, they're too compassionate and understanding and kind, and they just get mistreated to hell. So this is the primary people I'm talking in this video. But really I'm talking to everybody. So anyway, so this video is going on for probably around 17 minutes or more. So is there anything else I need to say? Not really. Hope you get the gist. And finally, talk, focus and think, generally speaking, things that bring you happiness and joy. But part of getting to that road, here where you want to be, is the bridge of talking about and expressing negative emotions and stuff that you hate or dislike behaviorally, or even about certain aspects of your life. You got to express, and that is the bridge that gets you to this beautiful place. And you want to focus generally more on this place for sure, and talk and be grateful, be appreciative and express love, and give kindly and generously. You know, step out of your comfort zones in life and open your heart and learn to understand and help to let go and to forgive and have compassion, everybody. Like, if anyone knows me, this is what I focus on primarily. But I've focused too much on that in the past, to the detriment of looking after myself extremely diligently. As I said, no more time wasting, no more bullshit, no more shit or nonsense from anybody. It's simple. Just make the decision. I'm extremely kind and generous and loving person. And if you are too, accept what you deserve back from people. Stop giving to people who don't reciprocate or care about you much. They don't even thank you maybe. Just choose carefully and choose your partner carefully. If you think about getting in a relationship, screen the person and hopefully you have a high resonation. My next partner is going to have a high resonating friendship that's like very beautiful, like there's electricity, chemistry, there's an energy that's like gorgeous together when we talk as a friend. We have a lot to talk and share. We can even work together. They are very deeply on the self-healing, conscious path of self-growth, learning and healing and improving themselves, cultivating virtues. And we're going to get on fantastic. So if they don't do that with you, I'd suggest don't bother getting with someone who you don't have a lot in common with, or you don't have that like electric, beautiful respect, love, like purity, innocence, consciousness, awareness, maturity. And this should apply to basically nearly all of your friends too, to a certain degree. But when it comes to your partner, it should be like top of the top. Don't settle for anything less. So if you choose and make the decision to settle for less, you are choosing the bullshit or that could happen to get with someone who isn't on a conscious path. They're just going to act up. They're going to be unconscious. They're going to do all sorts of like ridiculous, shitty behavior, and you're just going to have to say, I chose this. And I chose to stay and I chose to get with them. So take responsibility and leave ASAP. You know, if people do bad stuff to you, you gotta like say, They got to basically make up to you, abundantly make up and say sorry, tell you they love you, that they acted like shitty or bad a little bit, and give you loads of hugs, love, or cuddles, or presents, or making you sweet like tea, coffee, bringing you out for lunch, quality time with you, or massage, or just extra beautiful sweetness with you, to you. And that's how someone makes up. And they're going to have to vow not to make the same mistakes again. And the very same day, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and the next week, and the next month, they have to, just the way it is for me, and I'm sharing that you can do it too, they have to then act and prove that they're living up to their word of being a way better person behaviorally, and being kick-ass in conscious living. So don't accept someone who says, promises you the world, but does nothing. Promising you marriage, promising you presents, promising you everything, promising you that they're going to work on themselves, and then they do nothing. Get out of that relationship bloody ASAP. Love yourself. Have self-respect and dignity. And don't go chasing anyone or clawing at someone's heels who isn't giving you the time of day. You don't deserve that. So love yourself, everyone, properly. So everyone, my name is Owen Fox. I work as a holistic body, mind, spirit, emotion healer, and I do consultations one-to-one. And I make YouTube videos on these type of topics as well as health. So if you're new to me, I don't need to remind you or say to you to subscribe. You probably already know if you're interested. I wish you all the best, and have a lovely day, and I'll see you again another time. Hey, blessings.